all our viewers here and abroad. I'm Chelsea Joe, and this is Kulasa's Concerns, your #1 program of talk, issues, and concerns. For today, we will be discussing discrimination against lesbians, gays, bisexuals, and transgenders in their workplace. But before that, let's watch this short clip.
But why? 41% of transgenders are not hired. 21% lost their job. And 12% of them have a high rate of unemployment. Transgender rights are also human rights. Stand up against discrimination and fight for equality.
The Vice Director of Transman Pilipinas, and Mr. Contemprato, the Vice Director of Transman Pilipinas, to share us their stories. Good afternoon, Mr. James and Mr. Justin.
Good afternoon.
So, first and foremost, could you please tell us a little bit about what Transman Pilipinas is?
It's an organization. It started 2012. It was just a small Facebook group, and then more members came in, and then we started fixing. We weren't an organization right away. We had to work
for it very hard because it only became an government non-government organization only last month. So we had to work hard for it since 2012 for us to be government recognized by the government. Yeah.
So you guys were the original people behind Transman Pilipinas?
Yes.
So is trans women included in Transman Pilipinas, or is it just trans men?
Yeah, it's actually solely for transgender men in the Philippines, but we are also in alliance with another group consisting of transgender women.
So what was the process of turning Transman Pilipinas to just a Facebook group to a non-government organization?
Because originally the plan was to make it a non-government organization from the very beginning, but we know it's going to be difficult and it's going to be hard, but we worked for it. We registered our group with the Security and Exchange Commission. So yeah, finally last month we were approved and now we're recognized.
So what does Transman Pilipinas do? What events do you have? I mean, what kind of advocacies do you guys stand for?
We do Trans 101 talks. We join events, and we do community service. Like what do you call this? We go to some parts of the Philippines. I mean, like not like outside of Luzon yet. But we do charity work for the kids.
Yes. We usually give out school supplies and various feeding programs, especially to those in the poor areas of Manila.
So these Trans 101 talks, what do they cover exactly? What kind of topics?
To start off, we try to differentiate the difference between lesbians, gays, and transgender women and men, because the often misconception is that lesbians and transgender men are the same, but in reality it's not, and only a few people understand that. And what we want to do is that we want to educate the people for them to know that lesbians and transgender men are different.
And these talks are open for everyone who would want to listen?
Yes, yes.
So both of you guys are trans men yourselves?
Yes.
So when did you, Mr. Justin, realize that you wanted to change your gender?
Well, I just started HRT last year. I did a lot of thinking. It took me almost a year to decide whether I want to undergo hormone replacement therapy or
so
not.
HRT is hormone replacement therapy?
Yes, yes.
Right.
So there.
And Mr. James?
All my life, I thought I was a lesbian. For 24 years, I've always thought that I was a lesbian. But then I started to read topics about transgender, and I realized that I'm not actually a lesbian, but I am actually a transgender male.
So when did you realize that?
Because
How old are you?
24. I started HRT as well last year. So I realized that I really am not comfortable with my body. I want to change the way I look and how people would look at me. So I started taking hormones for me to change my physical appearance.
So when you do decide that you want to undergo HRT, what is the first step? Where do you go exactly? To a hospital, or I mean?
Ideally, you should start to meet up with a doctor for you to able to get certain prescriptions. But I discovered, I first started when I joined the group. I found my shelter there and comfort there. So that's where I started actually.
So, Mr. Justin, do you have the same experience?
Yes.
You consulted a doctor first?
No, I actually didn't, but I talked with the other brothers in the group. So they guided me throughout my whole transition. So there.
So how many people are currently in Transman Pilipinas?
It's a very
Approximately.
small group,
Okay.
but we're more than 100. But it's very, very small because there are a lot of transgender men in the Philippines that they don't realize it yet. So that's what we want to aim for, that we want to educate them and guide them, and for them to realize that you might be transgender, you might not be a lesbian, because we've done a lot of talks with the lesbian communities, and so yeah, there.
So in those lesbian communities, have there been lesbians who, after listening to your talk, realize that they actually are transgender?
Yes.
Okay, so how did your family react to your decision, Mr. Justin?
Well, I didn't really tell them straight up.
Okay.
I just started getting my testosterone, and then when they finally noticed, I opened up to them. I was like, I'm taking testosterone. I'm going through all these changes in my body, and they were quite cool with it. I mean, my dad was really open about it, so it wasn't really a struggle to open up to them.
So what about you, Mr. James?
In my case, I haven't came out with my family. I haven't told them that I'm actually taking hormones about it because we're from a conservative family, and I'm kind of afraid. I'm still in the process of, getting there. But they noticed changes in my body because we'll be having massive changes. Like within a year, I've changed a lot, and so they were asking me, but I haven't told them yet. I'm just like.
So, I mean, how long does it usually take for those hormones to externalize themselves and to show visible signs of change in your body? How long, after you start taking them?
It really depends upon your body system
Okay.
too, but signs of changes might show within 3 months, as early as 3 months.
So, are you guys working right at the moment?
I used to.
Yeah.
So, when you, were you already a trans man when you applied for a job?
Yeah, I was.
So, did you notice any different attitudes towards you when?
Well, yeah. I mean, the cis males, they were kind of creeped out, and I weirded out by the fact that, because usually they think that you're a girl. Why do you want to change yourself into something you're not? I mean, it's not supposed to be that way. And then when they see my old photos, why do you have to do that? I mean, but other than that, no, I didn't try to explain myself. I just kept quiet about it, and then it just went away.
So after a while, they kind of just accepted the fact
Yeah.
and stopped
Yeah.
pressing you about it.
Yeah.
So, Mr. James?
In my case, I've started hormone replacement therapy after I left work.
Oh,
after I
okay.
left work. So the moment that I was applying, I was actually applying. I had several experiences that I really didn't like. Like initially, interviewers think that I'm gay. Like I was born male, but I am
Oh.
gay because of some of my mannerisms I just cannot get rid of. So
Some feminine.
yeah, so that when they ask me, who? I mean, my name is really, really girly, and so yeah, actually, that's me. I was actually, so I have to tell them,
Yes,
of
you have to
course, because
explain
yes,
the-
over and over again, and they were actually amused about it. Like, oh, really? Is it really possible? Like that's, and yeah, it's actually happening in the Philippines. Like, so the problem is, I think, in some work areas they have to wear a uniform, and one of their violations is cross-dressing. So you have, if you're like, I was born female, so my IDs or my valid IDs say that I'm female, so I have to dress like the women's uniform, which I think is, I really don't like it because I don't like it. So some would say that, I mean, we're gonna have a problem about this one because you have to follow rules, and they're gonna be telling us that there's no law that could protect us yet. That's why there's nothing that we can do. That's why we're working very, very hard with Transman Pilipinas, you know, and we're gonna be starting with the small laws like the anti-discrimination bill, and we're really working on it. Just so, I mean, we're gonna have to start with really, really.
So how many workplaces? I mean, places did this happen during the interview process?
It's really difficult in your normal 8 to 5 job.
Okay.
Luckily, there are BPOs or call centers that would actually protect us, or if that's what you call it, because in some work areas or BPOs, there's no discrimination, and also our partners are also covered in health insurances, which I think is very, very good. But only 2 BPOs are actually doing that in the Philippines. So it's really difficult.
So you guys mentioned like a legal aspect of it. I mean, you're starting from small. You're starting small, but in the long term, what would you want to accomplish, Mr. Justin?
I would want like a really, really big group of transgender men just making noise and being proud, and just like walking amongst other people with no, like, without feeling shame or something like that, because like what we do is not easy. What we experience is not easy. It is really damaging, especially for the others. This, I mean, like some of the transgender people I know in other countries, they actually get depressed and they almost commit suicide because of how others treat them.
The feeling of not being accepted by
Mhm.
being
So
stigmatized.
that's
Yes,
what
yes.
we're aiming for right now.
So recently there was a LGBTQ parade. Was your organization part of? I mean, did you guys attend the event?
Yeah, I
Or-
was there.
Oh, all right. So, other than discrimination in the workplace, have you experienced any other kinds of discrimination outside by people who know about your condition? I mean, even among your friends.
Yeah, like in applying for some valid IDs, we have to show a lot of proof that we were actually born female. And I mean, the process itself is easy, like giving out papers, but it's really kind of degrading on our part because we really don't want to do that everything, and we have to tell the entire story over and over again, and it's kind of and we're actually thinking, why can't you just accept us? And like, yeah, so it's kind of sad sometimes, but you really have to work hard for it. If you want to prove something, you have to be firm and assertive. So yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
What about you, Mr. Justin? What
Well-
other kinds of discrimination have you faced, or is it the same as?
The same as John met, yeah. But then, like with my friends as well, like
Yeah.
sometimes, because what people know is different from what they understand, right? So like they know that I'm taking testosterone, but then they still they sometimes forget to use the right pronouns for me.
yeah.
Like,
What is the politically correct term?
well,
for?
we want
to hear like male pronouns like he.
Oh,
yes,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, but some of our friends and people who know us before transition tend to forget
Yes.
that. of
Which is
course,
understandable.
Yeah,
You'll have
yes,
to admit.
and so we want to be called by our preferred name, but then it's really difficult because it's a process, not only with us, but also with the people that we know. So yeah, there. It's a
But
step-by-step process.
other than being called the wrong pronoun, has there been friends who have kind of felt like they didn't want to be friends with you anymore, or have they been supportive?
Well, in my part, I mean, I have friends who I chose to not hang out with them anymore because they just keep on like talking about talking bad stuff.
Negative.
Yeah, they can't accept it. I mean, and with the others, I mean, they really understand. I mean, they really get it and they respect it. Because I have friends who are gay and lesbians as well. So that's the ones I kept. I mean, like.
And I think that's a measure of a true friend when they accept you no matter what.
Yes, right.
So the friends who had stuck with you, these are the real friends, and the people that didn't, you probably are better off without them.
Yes, correct.
So same with. Do you guys have the same circle of friends or different?
Different.
Okay. But are any of your friends part of Transman Pilipinas?
Yes.
Yeah, we made a lot of friends when we joined the group.
But then your friends before Transman Pilipinas happened, did you have Transman friends as well, aside from the both of you?
No, I didn't.
In my case, I did. Me and my best friend started taking testosterone the very same day.
Oh.
So we were
kind of support.
Yes,
you guys are both supporting
with each other. Yes.
Okay. What about you, sir?
Well, my best friend is a lesbian. I mean, I talked to her about it. She was like, I'm comfortable with myself. I don't feel like I'm in the wrong body. I'm happy. At the end of the day, I know that I'm still a girl. So there, we talked about it. I mean, because I thought that she was a transgender as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
but so what are your sexual orientations, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'm straight.
Oh, okay. And then.
I'm actually a transgender male, straight transgender male.
Trans.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, on National Geographic, you see multiple cases of transgender males still being straight because there are so many misconceptions about. And what are the, in your opinion, individually, like what is the biggest misconception about trans men, Mr. Justin?
That we are like a higher level of butch lesbians. And that like, I mean, like for me, that's just it. It's not that I hate being compared. Like, I don't like being compared to a lesbian because a lesbian is still a girl, is a woman at the end of the day.
Identifies as a woman.
Yes.
And I identify as male. Like in my heart and in my mind, I'm a man. So there.
Yeah.
And Mr.
Actually, the same. I mean, the biggest misconception would be that you have to take up hormones to be transgender, where in fact, no, it's not true. The mere fact that you're not comfortable with your body, when you conceal your breast and try to look like male, even without taking testosterone, you're actually transgender. So there's this biggest confusion within lesbians, and I mean, some lesbians we talk to, I mean, yeah, I'm not really, I don't like other people to see my breast, but I don't want to take hormones. And we're like, that's okay. You're still transgender. You don't have to take up hormones for you to be trans. But they're saying, no, I'm actually a lesbian. So it's really difficult for us because the lesbians themselves are not really, they don't accept the fact that they're actually transgender.
So thank you very much. Do you have any last words to tell our audience?
Well, for me, just like for other transgender people, like just be proud and like be strong, and like there are a lot of support groups here in the Philippines, like Transman Pilipinas, that would love to help them and like support them in whatever decision.
In their journey.
Okay. So do you have any other?
Just be strong and stay positive about it. It's going to be difficult. It's hard as it is, but you know, you can contact us, transmanpilipinas@yahoo.com if you have questions about it.
Transmanpilipinas@yahoo.com.
Yes.
Okay. So, I thank you and more power to your organization.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Okay. So, and that's all the time that's all the time we have. Today's topic was about discrimination of the LGBT community. So thank you for watching. Tune in next week for more Kulasa's concerns. This was Chelsea Joe. God bless.